It's good. Use your spoon to eat the cottage cheese too, not just the chocolate chips.
This one. These ones.
I think these. It's easy for me to put on, right, girls?
Yeah. Mama, let's roll already.
Let's roll. Welcome back to a new weekly vlog. I'm just getting ready for the day. I have walk and talk this morning, which is pretty much just morning duty until my students walk in. So I don't have a ton of time in my classroom, but I just met up with my partner and she printed off all of our small group stuff for today. We're starting small groups this morning, so I feel very grateful that she did that because it was a lot of copies. I went ahead and made some slides, just how we want to do our small groups, and so I'm still going to be tweaking our groups probably, but my students are still taking the diagnostic. Some of them, most of them have finished, and so I'm kind of basing it off of that, but then we also did some beginning of the year initial assessments that will help me out. But like I said, I just don't know. I kind of put together some names, and on iReady, if you didn't know, they have some instructional groupings after you're done with the diagnostics. So that was very helpful. I basically just went ahead and used the slides that I'm already using for my daily slides. So here is our ELA stations. We're gonna have something for sight words, grammar, and then iReady and a comprehension worksheet. And this is kind of like our teacher table. But today we're kind of just going over expectations of what small group looks like, just practicing how it's gonna go, the flow of it, our voice level, what you're doing, what you're expected to do. And then here is our math one, same thing, just we're doing an adding and subtracting worksheet, rounding, iReady again, and then the workbook pages after we're done doing a whole group lesson. And then someone did ask for me to share the slides, and I will get to it. I just want to tweak it, make sure it looks good. But today, it's Tuesday, we had our 3-day weekend, and that was really fun and relaxing. We're gonna read some more of Amplify. We're gonna start small groups, like I said today, math, lunch recess, independent reading. I have music today, and I don't know if I'm going to get to these. I'm probably going to be, the students are probably going to be finishing up their inner outer portraits, but we will see. All right, it's going to be a hot and humid day, I'm pretty sure today. I'm wearing my Teacher's Graham shirt, and I love this one so much. I finally got a 3rd grade teaching shirt, and then I'm wearing my maternity like beachy pants with my Birks. All about my comfort lately. This shirt is amazing. I got one more shirt from them, which I'll probably wear sometime later this week, and I'll show you guys because it's so cute. It's more customized, and it says Miss Kellogg on it, and it has like the perfect colors. And I'll also link Teacher Graham's down below. They have a ton of customized shirts and accessories for teachers for a good price, and it's really, really good quality as well. If you didn't watch last week's vlog, we moved into our Airbnb, but I'm still living out of like our suitcase. I packed like a month's worth of clothing in my suitcase, and I feel like I didn't pack enough, and like obviously my bump is growing. So I went to Target last week and I just got some maternity pants, jeans, and just some stuff that I could feel comfortable and pretty in. This is gonna be the grammar group. This is going to be some comprehension, and we have them leveled, so that's why they're labeled 1, 2, and 3. These will be our sight words. It's going to be a little packet. I love this one where they can trace, fill in the boxes, just different little activities that they can do. And then just some rounding for math and adding and subtracting for math. And then the other 2 groups were the workbook and then iReady. It's lunchtime, and I need a second to decompress because we started our small group like I mentioned, but wow, I don't know if it's the 3-day weekend. I don't know if it's because I had a sub at the very end of the day on Friday, and the sub said similar things about the class, like how it was really chatty and nothing was really working. I don't know, I need to rethink small groups because maybe this group would be better not moving around the classroom, maybe having their name and understanding what rotation they're doing, but staying at their seats would be more helpful. I feel like because we rotated and we're in different groups, it almost felt like a new group. But I don't want to give up on it yet just because it is the first day and I want to be patient, but today has just been super like chatty and very chaotic and very fidgety. I'm very exhausted already. Thank you to everyone that commented on my last video. We came up with ones that we liked. So waterfall shh is a great one, and I continue saying it until it is completely quiet. Yeah, that's our main one right now. I just want to introduce one. And I also introduced table points today. They came up with their names, and I'm just giving points out as they're doing a great job. A lot of movement in here, and I just really need this lunchtime to just like... It's also fantasy football drafting tonight, so Brandon just texted me saying he's gonna meet with some friends. That makes me a little bit anxious too, because I'm like, I don't want to solo parent some days on like the hard days, so I really would rather have him at home, but I know these things don't happen often and I want him to be able to do these things with his friends. So it feels like last week I'm like, oh my gosh, it was such a great week, and it still is. I'm just like really overwhelmed with how things have switched really fast, and I really hope tomorrow when I come in it's gonna be like new again. The day still hasn't slowed down, it hasn't gotten any calmer, but taking a deep breath. They're back from a 3-day weekend. I think everyone is kind of going through it, not just me, so that makes me feel somewhat better. I just went to the printer and printed off a few more things for just fluency early finishers or even for our small groups. I noticed today when we were in our small group, they had a hard time subtracting and regrouping. So I'm going to kind of go over that with them tomorrow during whole group, so they can feel confident in regrouping since that is our next lesson. Printed off the math quiz, and then just some more fluency from the iReady curriculum. I'm starting off with 2 digits, even though we're on to 3 digits. They need a refresher from last year, they said. If I print off all copies, I kind of split it in half the best I can, and then just count that, so I don't have to count all 50. It's so hot today, you guys. I don't understand. I know people live in hotter places, but for us, it is extremely hot. Any teachers, comment down below if you have ways that you do small group for students who are kind of like really chatty. I know my initial reaction is, okay, we don't need to do small groups anymore, but my other reaction is, it's okay, it takes time, they need practice. This was only round 1. So let me know, because to be honest, I wasn't great about doing small groups in the in 5th grade. Kind of starting it out, it wasn't as smooth as I wanted it to be. So if you have any tips on that, and like, how do they rotate? How do you determine what tables are being used? If I have 6 people to a group, how do you make that work if I have like 4 people to a table? What do you do with the work? Do you collect it? Do you have the students hang on to it whenever they're not done? Because we have groups again on Thursday. To-do list. Let's see how much I can get done within 20 minutes before walk and talk. our day has been so much better today compared to yesterday, and I'm so happy. I just knew it was gonna be a quick turnaround. I felt hopeful, but this morning I just had a quick little to-do list. I wanted to hang up the little tapestry so I can get some shade in the classroom without pulling down all the blinds every day. We did some place value strategy with subtracting 3-digit numbers, refreshing how to regroup and borrow, and then we did a little bit of desk clean out. I just drew a quick picture. If you haven't noticed, I'm more of like on the fly kind of person. I just drew a quick my desk. We did one side is our folder with all of our papers, and then we have our textbooks here, and the pencil pouch needs to be in their desk as well. If you guys didn't notice, I had 2 desks right here just because I had an odd number of students. I just added them to the back 2 tables. So I just have 2 groups of 5, and then the rest are groups of 4. We're doing really, really good with table points as well. I have points with I have students who have 8 points right now, 6, 7. So 6, 7. Yesterday they could choose a prize from my prize bin, and then I told them that we would start doing a weekly competition or daily, depends on how it goes, but they will earn 5 extra minutes, or they get to have 5 more minutes than any other group to start their fun Friday. But if that doesn't work out, then we'll try something else that's more rewarding for them. And then we read a little bit of the Toad. We did some vocabulary. What else did we do? We did some independent reading, some diagnostic. It's been a much better day, and it's a Wednesday. Today I have this mushroom pea pasta that I made with some steak that my husband grilled this weekend. And tonight I'm making this tortellini soup that I found on Instagram, and I'm so excited for soup season, even though it's 90 degrees here. It's so hot, but I'm craving soup and craving just something hearty and delicious. I'm more refreshed today. Happy Thursday, guys. I just got in. There was a little bit of traffic today, but we made it and all is well. My belly feels like it just grew overnight, and I have some aches. Not aches, but my body kind of feels achy today. Didn't finish my breakfast, but I'm having the cottage cheese, pomegranate seeds, and dark chocolate chips. I tried this with Greek yogurt and it just didn't hit the same. At first, the cottage cheese tasted really weird because it's the texture, too many textures. And then I tried it with Greek yogurt and it was just a little bit too bitter. Probably 15 grams of protein. Got some fruits. Got a little crunchy sweetness in there. I just organized my small group stuff. I cleaned this drawer out this Friday. We actually have our Williams audit finally. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm cleaning up a little bit each day. I hung up those letters, math, and then I hung up one for ELA. And then I just hung up the rest of these inner outer portraits. Doing things here and there little by little, and it's really coming together. I just need to donate some of my chapter books to the 6th grade teacher, so I can have some more space. She can have some more books. We're trying small groups again. I think what I'm gonna do is, because I'm gonna have different stations and I'm gonna have them in designated areas. So I'm gonna have them not so close to each other. I think before they were a little bit too close, and then I had students who were doing iReady just sit wherever there was an open spot, which isn't super ideal. So maybe the students who are doing iReady can either sit at the back table or they have to sit down at the carpet, and then everybody else will be transitioning in their small group tables, but then probably have them on opposite ends of the room. My air is on now, but I made tortellini soup last night, and I found it easy. This is my first time making tortellini soup. It was super easy. I used Italian sausage and beef, and then it was tomato paste, heavy whipping cream, chicken broth, beef broth, whatever you want to use. Tortellini, cheese tortellini. It was so good. Basil, bay leaf, all that stuff. I loved it. It's hot here. It's 90 degrees, but it was delicious. I also wanted to share my new water bottle. I left my Awala here at school twice now, and I don't love the Awala like I thought I would, so I got this Elo one, which I've seen a lot of people get for their kids. I just got the 30 ounce, but it's only $19 on Amazon, and it has a little spout where you can close your straw so that there's no bacteria. Amazing. I got it in the color Twilight. lots of colors, and then there's even ones with patterns. I love a good 30 ounce. 40 ounces is a bit much for me. We have some foundation slides today. We are now officially Williams audit ready. I got an email late last night at like 8 o'clock saying that I needed to put all of the curriculum books that were in their desk on their table, just so that if they were to come into my classroom, they could easily count it and not have to look for the stuff and interrupt instruction. So I just put my Studies Weekly out right there. And then my unit readers luckily were already out, so that is a plus. Yesterday for math, I introduced whiteboards and markers. Now in 5th grade, I did this way sooner, but I wanted to work up to this in 3rd grade. I have my students still come down to the carpet. We do a whole group lesson, and then they bring their books down. But I noticed that they needed a little bit something extra, something different to just help them put their thoughts, their strategies, and then for them to just practice without just doing it right in the book. So we practiced just how to get our whiteboards. We practiced what it looks like to put our caps on, and like came up with different sayings like erase, erase, save some space, or save this, I don't know, something like that. And then caps on, markers down, things like that. So we practiced that a few times, and if they were drawing or anything like that, I took it away and I said, you can't follow the directions, so I'll give it back to you whenever I feel like you're ready. Just setting the expectation high to start off with, because it's a privilege to be using these, and I really want them to do these kinds of things. And it was much better. Even in yesterday's reading, I decided that we had different characters, like in our story. We had different characters in our story. Badger, we had the mole, we had the rat, we had the toad. And so I just said, okay, pick one of the characters, and like get your lantern out, get your sword out, pretend you're going on this little journey. And so that was really fun for them to just act like kids. I'm still obviously getting into that mode of like, they are younger, but they still can have high expectations. They can still follow directions, like as long as I'm holding them accountable to it. So today's our Williams audit. I think once it's over, everything will kind of ease down. I have plan time with my partner today, so we get to go over some things. I'll kind of run through really quickly what our homework packet looks like. This is for next week. We have a reading log. Now obviously we know that this whole thing isn't always going to be completed, but whatever can, should be. Sight words to go over, reading the room, some proper nouns, since we've been working on that. Irregular plural nouns, we've been doing the plural nouns in a small group. Some more plural nouns. My tooth is wiggly. Rewrite the sentence with a plural form of the underlying noun. Some more plural nouns. Multiplication models, because right after this we're starting multiplication, which will be really fun. I like that we started with addition, subtraction, just to go over that repeated addition and what that looks like. And some more arrays and just practicing that. This comes right from our math book. So anyways, that's gonna be for next week. I think a homework packet is much easier, more manageable, as long as you can prep it, and it's not too much work. I like it much better than like telling kids to rip out one thing out of their homework. This is a little bit more purposeful, I feel like, and it really shows parents like what we're doing in class, how they can help them, and be a part of their classwork that blends right in with homework. Brandon worked a 24-hour last night. He's off today. It's gonna be a great weekend. I just love weekends at our Airbnb because it's so relaxing and they're spacious. We're gonna get ice cream after school. Indy has been asking about ice cream, and we love to go to Stella Jean's, so we're doing that after school. I'm gonna do a workout today. I don't know what it was, but last year I was so much better at working out like 3 times a week right after school. But obviously, I'll get the hang of it soon.